What's going on, Warriors? Your boy Shin with you back giving another video. And now that we've pretty much been exposed to the new feature that's been added to the game, which is soul power, all right, we're gonna be discussing the next line of topic which a lot of people are thinking about. Okay, that is pretty much who do you want to use the soul power on. Okay, as you guys are aware, there's been a limited resources or characters that kind of have it. I have them in my mind because I understand the faction here, as well as the as where they belong. Okay, so we're gonna look at the on the wind faction, there's only one person that has it. That's street poison here. Alright, that's someone you want to consider. On the thunder faction, that's Yonder. Alright, let's go over to the power station because I'm not even actually proving it yet. So you can see he has soul power there. Wind, we got street poison. Where is she at? Alright, go to promote. You see she has over there. For the flame faction, we have Sea Viper. Alright, and that's the soul power there as well. And of course the rest of the characters is going to be either Infernal, Master. Typically those who actually are event based. For the Master is only event based characters that you can see here, and that's pretty much Akuma. Alright, if you look at, for example, okay, I'm looking at my character line. Let's go to the gallery instead because you have to look at guys that I don't even have as well. So Akuma, we're looking at Gokin, and as you can see, Jen doesn't have it, so you can see that's what I'm going to skip it over. Rose also doesn't have it, and as well as the other characters. The only other person that has it will be Dante here. Okay, all right. So now here's the thing I'm going to talk about. First of all, as you guys know, if you're pretty much a pay to play player and you're just pretty much just not sure you're going to go for, obviously because there's going to be different levels of paid players, you can always go to the mall here and then purchase your resources here. For some reason they say they are limited. They are limited in the section here, but this is where you can actually buy them, the core as well as the shard. Okay, soul core, soul shard. All right, but this would most likely apply to those who are still like free to play players. All right, now those in terms of like you have limited resources, you can't afford to use them just like that, so you want to think about who you want to use it for. To clarify on the paid play players, for example, because there's going to be some who are like, what, I know I have them, but I want to prioritize first of all. First of all, the first thing you have to do is you actually have to be able to fulfill the criteria of having 3 to 5 stars. 2 stars to be able to use on this here soul core, and I believe the rest over here. What I try to do first of all to sort of like understand, as well as to see what the level is like when you start upgrading this stuff here. Okay, because it starts with 20, but it kind of goes then in increment like 20 before you know you're 40, before you know you're 60. So it's actually quite expensive to actually just use it like that. All right, so that's one thing you have to know as well. But of course, if you have unlimited resources or you're able to buy as much as possible, then of course you're not worried about that. But bear in mind, okay, let's go to the back to where you can get it. Bear in mind that there are limits that you can actually get this on. They actually put limits on it, but they should probably be more than enough for you to power up at least a team. Okay, but so you're not sort of like super restricted, but still, if you want to go for cards like that, and obviously you want to go for those major damage dealing units, because those are one you're going to want to, whoever you feel like you're actually using as a main player, as as a play to win to do your damages, that kind of stuff. That's what you want to go with, right? That will pretty much include the likes of, let's go to the gallery here, Akuma, for example, if Ryu as well, which you get, I have it by after that. I think yeah, it's a favorite to go for. Go Megalakan as well is also a good one. You want to go for those guys who actually do passive damage as well, so that's actually something to consider as well. However, okay, if you guys like me are free to play and can't afford to just use it unnecessarily, you're gonna have two categories, right? You're gonna have those who are sort of like being put in mind on those infernal characters or master characters, sort of build them up, and you're sort of like close, if not, they're ready, all right? So look, me for example, right now we've got Evil Ryu, for example, and then we've got some of the other ones as well who are just like like Akuma, who is just a little bit close to SS and whatever. You can't do anything with regards to this character because you probably wouldn't have reached the limited. If you have, great, then you can go ahead and use them. All right. However, if you haven't used that, like me for example, I then have someone like Sea Viper to sort of like boost up. Okay, boy, she worth it. All right. Here's the first thing you want to look at right now. You want to look at what the stats that you're going to get in terms of stat boost are pretty much general. There's only one particular stat that's going to differ. I showed you guys in the other video before. It's typically the first one. We can't see it here, so we're going to use pretty much the gallery going forward just to explain the point I'm trying to make here. So let's go to C Viper, who is going to be someone that a lot of people probably have because she's pretty much a go-to damage dealing unit, and she's the only damage dealing unit that they've actually made available from a free play standpoint, meaning those who are not like under the special master inferno faction. She's the only one that they use as a sample right now, and I'll tell you why I'm using the term sample in a bit. Okay, go over to the soul power here. As you can see here, as you increase it, you're going to start adding more of these bonuses. The HP bonus you're going to add more to the HP. You're going to unlock this. As you can see in my previous spot, there was only HP bonus that was ready to be unlocked once you add that in. But like I told you before, most of them actually pretty much just have this special bonus here, and then the rest is kind of like the same. Everybody has this damage bonus, blah blah blah. So you're going to attack more, but then this is what I consider that special, exclusive extra boost that they get. For her, she's just going to do effect resist, so it doesn't even justify her damage dealing abilities. It just is more defensive, so that's something you have to be worried about for starters. Okay, second thing is you want to look at pretty much what is going to be happening on the attack. Generally, you're going to get an attack boost, but her special, the first one, is going to get another attack boost as well, which is good. Second one is going to get increased thunder and flame damage to 30% of attack. So it's either one of the I believe she has there like a 203, or is it 103? I think it's 103. Let me confirm that. Let's go back here. Oh, I can see it here. I have to go to my actual character as well. So here, promote skills. Or maybe I should go into skills. 203, yeah. So she's 203. Let's go back to the gallery here to continue what we're talking about with Sea Viper. All right. So I believe one of them does flame and the other one does thunder. So it's obviously not a bad option as well, right? You get critical damage on each one, so that's actually good as well. When you're playing PvP right now, okay, you're gonna get damage bonus and you're gonna get damage reduction. Okay, so you have to first of all consider, are you going to use these moves often? Because these moves are going to be ones that are going to get attribute. Based on where I use the character, I use one of the two, right? So you're still going to get the benefit from each one, but you can't get benefit of both. That's the unfortunate thing here. However, if you're looking at someone who's like a passive guy, like Ivory, for example, or Go My God I Can, all right, whoever we see first is going to use, you know what, I'm going to use my boy regardless, right? You go to the soul power here and you look at this one here. Whatever damage you get in here, this is going to happen passively, so it's definitely going to happen. You don't have to worry about if you use it in the combo. This one too is also going to happen because it's the C1, all right. And of course we have this one in PvP. This is just pretty much the extra exclusive. He's meant to be offense based, and he's actually proven his offense based by getting 16%. All right. If you look at Sea Viper, for example, and I'll tell you why I'm actually comparing this to in a bit right now, because we're looking at it from a damage dealing standpoint. Okay. Sea Viper here gets 12. She's supposed to be sort of like balanced, even though she's an attack-based character. She's getting a bit of balance-based stats. Someone who's getting balance-based stats is supposed to be someone who's actually a balanced character, like Go My God I Can. Okay, so Go My God I Can is obviously, as you can see, you can even see the balance chain here. He gets the absolute balance in that he has defense, damage reduction, as well as base temp set bonus on PvPs. Bear in mind, it's just strict for PvP here. But if you look at this one here, this move here, the 10% chance to deal this damage here, this is going to happen automatically because it's the C3, right? This one, however, you have to decide if you want to use it. Oh no, this also happens automatically, right? So this kind of falls on even reused category as well in terms of the passive. But the last thing you want to look at, let's go to Go My God I Can first of all, is it's not really important, but you want to tell if he's actually adding to attack or defense. You can see he gets damage bonus as his exclusive, right? And then of course you get the other ones that you kind of like, everyone has this, but he has an extra 1% damage bonus that actually makes him really, really top tier in terms of someone that you want to use the soul power on. All right, and for Evil Ryu, he gets damage reduction, so not really a great one in terms of like the whatever, but he more than compensates it, because if you look at the damage he does here, is 16%. So that's like an extra 6% compared to what Komagalakan gets, because he gets 10, right? And he just compensates this damage reduction with this here to add the 0.8 to what he's getting there, okay? So, but all in all, both of them good contenders. Now, here's what I'm going to now let you guys understand, okay? If you guys are either close or already there at pushing, say for example, if you're free to play, you're not gonna have Go Megalakan at 4 point very easy, because Go Megalakan was the first one where you didn't actually have a choice to use like a special summon. He was pretty much one of those. You get a unit for sure, and unfortunately ended up with having just that unit. I think I'm just on an A, not even an A plus. Just pitiful. Yep, just on an A. But I used him. He was very good. He was very valuable for a long period. But what I'm trying to say is that if you're free to play, chances are you're not going to get into Triple S. Let alone Triple S plus 2 or Triple S plus 3 to get all that extra boost. So it's not going to be an option. Ivry, however, you might not have it now, but you'll have him later. But if you're not someone that's been dragging for him now, or Akuma, people are going to be either be on one or the other. That's typically what it's going to be. It's going to be whatever the preference is. And we can look at Akuma as well. His exclusive is damage reduction also. But I've noticed something. If you have damage reduction as in whatever, you probably have a high damage dealing bonus here, which he has 16%. Unfortunately, like I said, this part only applies to PvP, so understand that as well. Otherwise, most of the damage you're getting is pretty much enough. It's just an extra 1% that you're missing. But look at what it does to his Raging Demon. He's going to be ripping defenses apart easily once you actually do this, alright? But he is more or less like an active damage dealer, so you have to pick one of these two, okay? You're not going to be doing both of this. You have to decide which one you're going to work with. Most of the time, you're going to find yourself doing this one here, okay? Easy for the C, to use the C2 on him, all right? But here's the kicker, all right? I told you guys before in the previous video, the characters that were selected outside the event-based characters seem to be extremely strategic, okay? It's almost like they wanted to touch every single faction and every single class available. And here's what I'm talking about here. These are all the factions that we have here, okay? And I'm going to use this one to pretty much showcase this, because I think I have everyone that actually falls under the regular ones, right? So wind, thunder, and fire. For wind touches, let's expand this for example. Wind touches support. So wind representing the wind class, representing the wind faction is Street Poison. Representing thunder is E Honda. Representing flame is Sea Viper. Nobody else. Okay, there's nobody else, not even a recent character like Summer Yang, not even an important character, like Mad Ryu, who was sort of like boosted and restored. He didn't get that. Okay, now why is it only just these 3 units? All right, because each of these 3 units define a particular class. All right, I'm going to expand this again. Let's go. Support is covered. You can see support matches the wind. All right, so now that support is dealt with, we only have 4 classes left. Let's go to thunder right now. Tank. All right, E Honda represents tank. That is the second class that's been covered, right? Now we have support, we have tank. Now we have 3 more left. Go to the flame, power, all right? Sea Viper represents power in that regard. You can see here, Dowsing might be a power as well. Doesn't have it. I'm sure you guys have already gone through all the units as well. If you've seen my video already, or if you've just been curious enough to go through it. All right. Now you're wondering what's going on with assassins and balanced characters. All right. Now there's only 3 that they can't do more than, if they mix this up, it's going to be more than 1 per unit, right? In terms of the faction. So now they go over to Inferno, right? And look at the assassin. We try to wonder what makes Jury tick in that she's not an event-based character. There's nothing special about her. Blah 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 blah. Now that can whatever. There's your answer there. All right. They put her to represent the assassin. All right. Now I was thinking about this. Okay, you know what? Everyone has touched this. What is going on with Master? Because apart from event-based characters, nobody else has it. And let me tell you why. Go over to power. This is the only power. This is Training Kami supports power, but we already have um, Sea Viper representing that, so they're not going to give it to her. All right? Okay, fine, no problem. Go over to tank. We have no tank, so that's not even a bother. Go over to support. We have Rose. They're not going to give it to Rose. Why? Sorry. I'm sure you guys almost got excited that Rose had it. I didn't click on Rose. She doesn't have it. Why? Because Rose represents support. But someone already has support. Who's that? Street Poison. Alright? So now let's go over to the next one here. Alright? Okay, you know what? Assassin. Jen. Alright? We already know that there's a representative assassin from, the Inferno. That is pretty much Jiri. Okay? So now, what about balanced characters? There are no balanced characters in Master. Okay, so if that's the case right now, why didn't they just strategically put this on, say, for example, someone like Sagat, right? And then that way, we can now use Jen to represent the assassin. That would have made a lot of sense. I have no idea why they didn't do that, but instead what they did instead was, okay, you know what? We have Legendary as well. The one that is missing is the balance, but there's no balance Legendary as well, right? So they can't use the Legendary to fill that last faction. So what is left? All right. What they did instead was they had these two options to actually deal with it. You see, Sagat doesn't have it. They probably didn't give Sagat because he's maybe like a recent character. They decided to look for someone that was old enough. But if you look at the event-based characters, every event-based character has to have one. Okay. Go Magala can. Every event-based character has to have one, right? Go Magala can is the only event-based character that represents the balanced here. As you can see, we've gone through Inferno. Nobody could post an event. We've gone to Master because if you're going to be event-based, you're going to be either Master, Inferno, or Legendary, right? Well, not Legendary because Nero doesn't count as an event-based character. It was just kind of like added to the mix. So, because he as a character has to have one, and that way somebody else, all the other to represent the event-based characters, they picked him. All right, because if they had given Assassin to Jen, then Saga would have to represent that, and then they're going to just have too many whatever, right? So that's why they decided to give it to him. Well, I'm just trying to. That's what I believe, because obviously I don't work in the dev office, so I don't know how it is, but I believe that's what it is. But why am I rambling about all this stuff here? I'm rambling about this because what these guys are sort of like the preview to what is to come, okay? Meaning, in my opinion, everybody is going to eventually unlock this soul power, okay? That means someone like Fashion Blanca might eventually have it, or will eventually have it, because I actually believe they will, alright? Someone like Bison, right, who doesn't have it right now, he will, right? And even people like the likes of Jen, who else would I consider? Even Rose as well as a support might have a great. Even Sagat as well. Point I'm trying to make is that they've done this in a way to kind of set you to a trap. Okay, they know that the characters that are actually free to play accessible, and Bison is one of them because obviously once you have Bison to start, he was so OP. There's nobody apart from myself. I'm the only person who actually didn't push him to Triple S. And my excuse was that as soon as I knew Ivory was coming, and Akuma and Ivory came, it was kind of like a Tanscreen first, and then Bison next. It's kind of cost me in a way because it's kind of slowed down my progress, but I'm still progressing. I'm not really stuck. And of course, if I get into a jam, I can always loan from my people. Shout out to Lionheart, for example, or Silu. Those are the two go-to guys I pretty much go for. But pretty much what's going to happen is that some people might get excited and start boosting people like Sea Viper. Everyone is going to be thinking by default, if I want to give the soul stone to anybody, it's got to be my damage dealer, right? That's why she's a temptation right there. She's a very, very good tempting option for damage dealing. It's typically her, it's typically Gal or whatever, and you're going to just toss everything in her. And it's very scarce, right? It's really hard to get. By the time to now unlock every other person to have the soul stone, you're like, holy, crap. What am I supposed to do now? I have to start building up again. And you're going to regret it. chances are you probably will. So what I'm going to recommend is this, okay? Don't touch your soul cores and your soul shards. Just leave them alone unless you have one of these characters. Let's go over to the masters, whatever. One of the advanced based characters, and let's go back to the gallery so you can see all of them. You need to have at least Akuma. There's no way you're going to have Gokin because Gokin don't just came out. Even Wales don't have him yet at Triple S. It's very going to be very tough, right? You're going to have Dante as well as an option. You're going to have all these other characters there. And if you have any of those, okay, you know what? Great. Surely if you have Go I can, but let's be honest here. If you're free to play, you're definitely restricted to some degree. The biggest bet that I know that people might actually have would be between Akuma and Ivryu. That is if your pool was really nice in the special summons, right? And you were really focused on those characters. Alright? So that's the only way you're probably going to see yourself giving those characters, and they will definitely be worth it. You're not going to regret it if you give it to them compared to any other person, because who is left right now to give are just regular characters, and they're not going to make them as strong as the event-based characters, talk less of the special class characters, right? So what's my final takeaway in this? Even if you have these characters on, hold off a bit. Let's see what the developers are trying to do, because I believe what they're trying to do is this. You guys are going to be eager with this new feature and this new event here, because right now what's happening is I believe the whales are sort of like, well, the whales are still going strong, but the dolphins are sort of like calming down with their spending, right? There's a bit of a whatever. So if you find yourself invested in this right now, and then all of a sudden every other person has it, like someone like Bison now has access to it, you're going to be pissed. You're going to be like, holy crap, right? I can't actually push this guy anymore because I actually use it on someone like Sea Viper. So the only option I have right now is I'm probably have to go to the mall and buy this stuff, right? And that is the trap I want to set for you. And you know why I'm actually, and that's why I feel like you're going to realize that this stuff, the remaining characters might get it before this 12-day period ends, because they're going to want to put you on a very, very tight spot where you have no choice than just try and boost it up. Because here's what's going to happen: as soon if they had released every character with the soul stones, chances are Bison is going to wall up everything. Bison is going to be the one that you're going to be fitting this thing on, and the only contender besides Bison will probably be Fashion Blanca. Okay, that is for free to play players, right? These are the two major characters you're going to find yourself trying to get those soul core and the soul shards and whatever is going to power your soul power. So, guys, honestly, my opinion, don't use the gems. I am very, very certain that they're going to give the rest of the characters whatever. If they're just picked like specific kind of character, if for example they just picked Master and Inferno characters only, then I might say, you know what, as we already know as well, if you go to the let's go to the gallery, because I want to show you guys this. I want to show this to you guys properly. If you go to, say for example, the Master and Inferno characters, they're the only ones that can actually get to plus 40, right? Every other person in a faction that is not, look at this for example, plus 40. Every other person that is not Master Inferno are stuck at 30. You can use Chun-Li for example, even though she's a market character, plus 30. So if they had done this and only released the soul power to just Master Inferno, I was okay, you know what, fine. It's probably not going to get to anybody else, and they're probably trying to force people to now buy enough gems to use divination and all that kind of stuff, or divination tickets, whatever. That might be the game aim, but they're smart, right? They really want your money. They want to set you up and make sure that you actually start building right now because you're excited about this soul power. Everyone is like, who should I give it to? Who deserves this stuff? Just chill, all right? That's my own opinion. Just chill, and you will see within the next couple of days enough time for you to panic and spend your money, because this is also limited as well, so meaning this can actually go eventually. They'll probably release and give the rest of the units the stuff. So actually for my brother right now, I think my brother's already fallen through the trap. He's already decided to use it. He is bound to try and push Gal to the highest limits if he has the opportunity to. I already advised him, just hold off on whatever that you have left. Don't push it anymore. Okay, don't push Sea Viper anymore, because he also went on the Sea Viper train. No, he didn't go on Sea Viper train. He just went on E Hunter. He was just like, you know what? Whoever is on Triple S, ready to wall up this stuff, can get it. He wasn't even strategic about it, because the regular faction characters in Street Poison, you know, Sea Viper, didn't have enough. Didn't have enough stars to get the boost, so he kind of went for E Honda, because I'm like, you know what? I'm probably going to build more later, but you're going to struggle. All right, these things are really, really not smiling when it comes to the cost. So that's pretty much it for me with regards to who should use your soul power on. Don't be eager, don't be trigger happy, don't be finger twitchy, don't pick any of this stuff. And also, what that also kind of prioritizes what you use your money on right now. For me, money has been a little bit difficult, so to get, so I'm not no longer just picking up random stuff for no reason. Okay, I actually have to run out before I actually consider picking those stuff. But these guys right here, the Soul Shard and Soul Core, and of course my Special Summon tickets, I gotta keep on picking those. You know, all three, as costly as they are. I am typically always on the cost of 40k. For the first time, I've gone 5k down, 35. So it's not easy. It's gonna cost you a lot. But yeah, that's pretty much it from me with regards to today's video. Like, comment, subscribe. Your comments are important. They help me to be more exposed. Thank you guys for your views and also your likes. I really appreciate you guys here. Hopefully the likes should continue to go up and up. I see a number of views. The likes are sort of like at a very, very low ratio. If there's something that you don't like about it, maybe it's not giving you enough motivation to actually hit the thumbs up, leave the comments down. Let me know what I can do to improve. I'm here to serve you guys, and of course, to rep Street Fighter. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.